Hey everyone. So tonight's topic is all about the new course, the new cost of free speech as we navigate this new normal. Free speech ain't free no more, y'all, and especially as it relates to us. And for those of you that haven't heard about the bill that has been introduced and will eventually one day pass, right? I'm not sure. Quite honestly, I didn't have time. I'm actually running to get on this live tonight, but I didn't get a chance to see what the vote was. But we're going to check that out together later and see where the vote landed. But tonight we're going to talk about the vote, the actual vote, so that we can stay ready so we don't have to get ready. First, I'm going to introduce myself. Hey, everyone. What's up? I am Kim, aka Kim with the Gems. And on this channel, we talk all things wellness, travel, and money, honey, from a cultural perspective, from a Black woman's point of view, with the purpose, the intention to empower, to educate, to drop gems that I've learned along the way. And hopefully, it can help someone, one of the Gym Nation members. And I hope if you're new to the background, I love, love, love my new background, which represents the Gym Nation. And that's all of you. And all you have to do to become a member of the Gym Nation family is hit that subscribe button. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, turn on notification bell so you don't miss our lives. We're not going to go live tomorrow. There may be a video that launches or goes up tomorrow, but we'll probably be back on Friday. Share this video with a friend, comment. And yeah, we'll get into it. I am going to say hi to a few of the Gym Nation members before we get into the topic, and then we'll proceed with an overview of the IGO Anti-Boycott Act. So let me say hi to a few people, and then we'll get into it. Let's see who's in the building. Oh, welcome, Miss Linda. Oh my goodness, you are a member. Yes, welcome to the family. There should be a post that I put up, I want to say yesterday or today. It's on schedule about a meetup we have tomorrow. Welcome, Timothy. I am so glad to have you as part of the Flawless. We're calling our members as well that subscribe via YouTube to our community, our members only community area. You guys are part of the Flawless family as well. There are levels, but y'all are welcome and part of it. Hey, Moni Juliet, good to see you. OG members in the building. Yes, I heard. Yes, ABX Girl 86. Listen, he wasn't surprised. From what I understand, he's been talking about this since the news of Colbert came out. So yeah, they're not playing. Yes, it's shocking. Hey, hola, ¿cómo estás, mis amigas? LJ, good to see you. LJ, I sent you an email. Respond when you get a chance. Yeah, the movement is no joke. Hey, Creative Flavors and Travel, good to see you. Real prison talk with Tommy. What is going on? Hey, Miss Kim, that means you're a youngin', not in a good way, right? Just discovered your channel. Though you're not Black, your wife and child are, so you really appreciate my perspective. Wonderful. I'm curious to know, what's your nationality? I'm curious to know. Hey, Siobhan Muriel, another member of the Gym Nation tribe here on YouTube. So I welcome you. Thank you. Listen, yesterday's video has gone gangbusters. I didn't even know today was a busy day. And then someone hit my car while the car was parked, and there was a whole bunch of stuff going on. I had to talk to the policia, who made me realize I could not live in South Kakalaki. But anyway, I definitely want to know what's been going on. Hey, Just One, good to see you. Another member of part of the OG Gym Nation, as well as the Rain Society. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't think I saw anyone else tonight from the Rain Society. It's kind of, you know, it's I was late, so it's my fault. Blame me. But what I do want to start off with is this audio. I'm not going to play the video. Hey, Christine, I saw you just pop on. And take a listen. This is the bill we're going to discuss today. If you missed yesterday's live, go ahead and check it out. We talked about HR 5300, and even though it has not been implemented in its full capacity yet, the way they want it to be implemented, where they can revoke or deny passports from U.S. citizens all willy-nilly. Child, anyway, we're not going to talk about yesterday. We're going to talk about today. So let's just listen to someone else explain what the anti-boycott bill is about, and then we'll get into.
All right. So there's two bills being voted on Monday. Pretty insane. This one is called the IGO Anti-Boycott Act. And basically what it consists of is if you engage in BDS sort of stuff, which is, boycotting Israel, things like that, speaking out against Israel, that you could face fines of up to $1 million and 20 years in prison. You can see for Americans participating in boycotts of Israel or its settlements. These boycotts are endorsed by international bodies like the UN or the EU. Yeah, this is totally un-American. Also, there's another one being done by Brian Mast. He's the guy who served in the IOF, who's a congressman, that basically says that the government can take away your passport if you speak ill against Israel.
Our government has officially passed a bill.
So that was one audio that I wanted you to listen to. I'm going to play another one, but I'm going to stop her short because her mouth is a little too potty for this channel. And so I don't want to, have this video not live. So if you haven't heard of the it's called the IGO Anti-Boycott Act bill, look it up. But we're going to do a summary of it today, and especially what it can mean for Black and brown people in this country. And yes, I mean citizens as well. So we're going to play a little bit of Homegirl. If I could find it, I might have. Never mind. I didn't save it because it was too potty mouth, and now I can't find it. And so I'm not going to waste time. But she definitely breaks down how this is now a time of, let me just say this. It's a look into the future of what this country is going to turn into. And with bills like the IGO, and we're going to break down what IGO stands for as soon as I can fix my screen. There we go. The IGO Anti-Boycott Act, we're going to talk about that. You know what? Let's just get into it. I'm sorry. Threw me off because my screen was stuck and I couldn't switch screens. Anyway, what is the IGO Anti-Boycott Act? Well, it was first introduced as HR 3016. It seeks to amend and expand existing anti-boycott laws with certain favoritism that we'll get into in a second. But first, I want to call out, this is another HR bill, and we need to be checking out these HR bills because it seems like there's a target, right? There's a target, there's a desire to change some of these bills to fall in line with that project, the agenda that they have ready to go, right? So what does it mean? What are the aspects of this bill? We're going to talk about for everyone first, and then we're going to drill down what it means for Black and brown people in this country, or what it can possibly mean. So this particular act expands on the already existing anti-boycott law from 2018. But now they want it to apply to international governmental organizations and not just foreign nations, right? It prohibits any U.S. person, U.S. stands for United States, U.S. person from taking action in support of boycotts against countries friendly to the United States that are imposed by the IGOs. IGO, um, well, let me finish reading this and then we'll get into exactly what IGO is. It targets BDS, as the gentleman just said. It's primarily aimed at combating boycotts of Israel promoted by international bodies, such as those associated with boycott, divestment, and sanctions. That's BDS. So there's a whole BDS movement, boycott, divest, and sanctions movement. Some of y'all may have heard about it with Starbucks, right? Some of y'all may have heard about it with some of your other favorite companies that you supported that we were not supposed to support because they supported, you know, what's going on over there between Israel and Gaza. And so there are so many potential repercussions, and one of the repercussions is a huge fine, millions of dollars for the average citizen can be, millions of dollars can be imposed as a fine for the average citizen. But in addition to fines, jail time is also part of this bill, right? And so if you pay attention to what is going on now, right, between, I don't even want to say his name, but the person who's in charge of Israel and the United States, unfortunately, I don't have any question that this bill in some way, shape, form, or fashion is going to go through, if it hasn't gone through already. And like I said, I did not get a chance. I meant to run home and check to see the latest, but I didn't have the chance to do that. But we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna, if we just have to ask ChatGPT what's going on, that's what we're gonna do before this live is over. And so the arguments, let's talk about some of the arguments and the criticism. And if you've never heard, I'm curious to know, I always like to know who's in the chat. If you've heard of this act before, the IGO Anti-Boycott Act, if you've heard of it before, or if you haven't. So yes, for yes, I've heard of it. No, for no, I haven't. Listen, quite honestly, until recently, who knew such a thing existed or was even being planned to exist? I didn't. But through, lots of conversations and research recently, it has come to the forefront. And so I wanted to make sure that we are all abreast as to what is going on in this country. And especially because the targets for these bills that they are trying to get through will be us. It won't be them, it will be us, right? And so let's go through a key argument of why this is bad holistically, not just for Black and brown people, but opponents argue the legislation is unconstitutional because guess what? It is. They claim it infringes on free speech by criminalizing the right to participate in politically motivated boycotts. Some critics also contend the bill is designed to silence debate on the Israel-Palestine issues. That's what this is about. It's also about regulating who we can fight for, right? Or who we as American citizens can stand up against. And if it goes against what they want, then they're going to criminalize it. They're going to criminalize it, and they're going to try to break your bank, in order to get you to fall in line. But one of the supportive arguments, right? What are the proponents saying? They're saying that the bill is necessary to combat anti-Semitism and protect Israel from discriminatory economic attacks initiated by international organizations like the United Nations. The fact that this is such a glaring display of who's running the show, because you better not try to say anything bad about them. And what people like Whoopi Goldberg found out firsthand a couple years ago, where they made her sit down for what some would be deemed as a faux pas, and others. Listen, I've heard people from Israel defend Whoopi on her comments. And for those of you that don't know, the overall thing that she said was, Jewish is not a race. It's a religion. And she literally got suspended for that. We also see the influence they have in sports. And for those of you that follow basketball, Kyrie Irving was made an example of, right? So much so that he had to leave. Now, it also included him not getting, the thing. But it was definitely because he promoted a video that was on Amazon Prime that talked about the original Jewish people being Black people. And he literally caught hell for it. I think he might have got fined. He got suspended, all the things. So we see how this is moving, how this train is already out the station. And now they're just trying to not only expedite the turning this into law, but also severely penalize people that don't fall in line. And let me also just say, if you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and speed this up to 1.50. Don't tell me that it's too long, to whatever. If you don't you don't want to be here, thank you for stopping by. But if you want the information, put it up to 1.50, 1.75, hell, 2.0. I know I do when, I want to get to the meat, because we're going to, break down, we're going to take our time with this, and we're going to break down exactly what this means for us, right? And let me just see if what y'all are saying, like who knew about this and who didn't. So... Okay, you're 50, Cuban Irish, white presenting. Okay, lived in the US all your life, and I like to get your family to possibly Panama. Oh, were you here before? Someone like you has a similar story. I'm looking for yes. Siobhan says no, she didn't know about it. Yes. Adelia. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Adila. You're right. And that includes people like Hakeem Jeffries. That includes people like Cory Booker. That includes a lot of us. So yeah. Israel welcomed the largest delegates of American. Yes. Yep. So, Christine says no, she hasn't heard of it either. Yeah, this is definitely something that, we probably, because let me just say this. This act has been in existence, I want to say, I think I said like 2018, right? The only difference is, I didn't even really noticed that the banner was going across. But yeah, the only real difference is now it's focusing on certain allies, right? And it's focusing on U.S. citizens and how to penalize them. And so we haven't even gotten to why this is a real concern for Black and brown people. And you could kind of figure it out, right? Because we're talking about Israel and Palestine, right? We're talking about Muslims. We're talking about people who may present or look a certain way. And if you want to imprison, if you want to fine, if you want to revoke visitation privileges, whether it's through a visa, through a passport, through whatever means that you entered this country, this is how it's all done. And you see that they're working in tandem. They are working in lockstep to make sure all of these laws or bills try to get pushed through at the same time. Like, they are playing chess and we're sitting up here, worried about who's going to be on Real Housewives of Atlanta this season. And I'm not talking about y'all, but I'm talking about, them. And so we're going to get into exactly what this means for us. So when you look at the people that they are trying to target, the IGO Anti-Boycott Act has the potential to severely impact minority communities in the United States. African American, Arab, Muslim, Palestinian, and anyone that considers themselves progressive activists, right? People who are out, boots on the ground, literally doing the work to try to change laws, to try to change funding, and all of that. So, listen, think of people like Amanda Seales. And I mean, think of people like the list goes on and on and on. You could talk about Angela Wright. You could talk about a whole lot of people who are in our community that are fighting the fight and trying to have a sense of, not even a sense of, they're calling out the inhumane things that are happening on one side, right? Because it's not being called out. But these are the things that they want to stop, right? And so the likely impacts that can happen, we're going to go through about 3 of them. They're going to suppress political speech and activism. It is seen by critics as criminalizing certain types of political expression. And we talked about specifically against who? Israel, right? And the impact on minorities the impact on minorities is going to be probably the biggest impact, because the minority communities, the people that I just listed, the Arab community, the African American community, the Muslims, the Palestinians, are the ones that tend to fight these good fights out in the street, right? And they support boycott, divestment, and sanctions. But it's also going to, and I may be getting ahead of myself, but when you think about college campuses, those kids will be at risk too for arrest and for heavy fines. And so, and when I think about this, it like, I get kind of emotional because I think about me being in college and the freedom that I had. Now, granted, Howard didn't have a whole lot of on, campus boycotts or anything like that, but we did have boycotts, and we were free to have the boycotts. We were free to take over the administration building. We were free to go downtown into DC and join other boycotts without the worry or the fear of being fined millions of dollars, or having our passports revoked, or being arrested unless there was confrontation, right? It's not even going to require real confrontation anymore. And so that's just one area, right? The suppression of political speech and activism across the board, but primarily, as it relates to Israel and Palestine, the minority communities are the ones that will more than likely be affected the most. But then we're also going to talk about legal surveillance risk, right? Ain't no such thing as privacy anymore. And what this means, it simply means any U.S. person that complies with IGO endorsed boycotts, simply meaning by not doing business with Israeli companies, could face penalties. Minority-led NGO groups or faith-based organizations that are known for this type of activism may be monitored or investigated or infiltrated. And we know they know how to infiltrate, child. And we see on the other side that there's people that look like us that would be willing to turn on us. And so the surveillance, especially with all of these monitoring devices and cameras, the Google glasses, the watches, the phones, all these surveillances make us easier targets to be, or make it easier for us to be targeted, is what I'm trying to say. Again, we're talking about surveillance when it comes to profiling. So if they deem you as someone who already may be anti their message because you are Muslim, because you are a Arab, or you are from Palestine, or whatever your classification is, the profiling we haven't even begun to see what profiling is really going to look like. And there's a reason why this budget for Homeland Security is through the roof. And it's not just about Mexico, y'all. And that was when we started these conversations back in November. That is the one thing I really wanted people to understand. Stop sitting there talking about it. Ain't my fight. They the ones that voted for him. That was never where it was going to stop or end. And so we just need to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. So let me see what y'all are saying, and then I'll get back to the last couple of areas that it will affect us. Let's see. Oh, this is your first live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Some states have anti-BDS laws. Basically, anybody doing business with state means you can't boycott Israel. Some states have it. What states have it? I'm curious because I didn't know there were laws. So they're looking to federalize this, right? So we're not even talking about state laws. We're looking at federal laws for this IGO anti-boycott bill. You eventually think they're going to try and start shutting YouTubers down. Yeah. I mean, not just YouTubers. Did you see who's looking to buy TikTok? Child, this all of social media. It's not just YouTubers. It will be every platform. And I think YouTubers will probably be last, and that's simply because YouTube is not an American company, right? And so we'll see. But I do know the Skydance people are some of the top bidders, and I believe there's going to be some serious greasing of the palms. And for those of you that don't know who Skydance is, they are the company who purchased Paramount, CBS, got rid of Colbert, paid out a ridiculous fine to the man in the office. And so, yes, YouTube is owned by Google 100%. And YouTube makes a whole hell of a lot of money outside of the United States of America. YouTube is not beholden to the United States of America. And so while they'll have to play ball because there are antitrust laws that this government keeps hanging over their head and bringing them to, calling them out about. If they want to stay out of court, if they want to continue to be able to operate all of their businesses, they're going to have to play some type of ball, but they're not going to have to completely capitulate because they make a whole lot of money from a whole lot of other countries. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But social media is listen, you cannot have a dictator and have free speech. Like how they say you can't have fear and faith. Fear and faith cannot coexist. Well, it's the same with dictatorship and free speech. You cannot have them coexisting. They just don't work. And so they're definitely going to suppress conversations. And yes, Black-owned media is a necessity, and community is even a bigger necessity. So if something happens to each and every one of these platforms, you're not left out in the cold. You're not left not knowing what to do. You're not left not understanding what's coming next or having a strategy because you can't log on, right? Community is so key. And I'm going to take a second to go ahead and talk about the RAIN Society, because we officially launched this. Well, the first class is this Saturday, but Hakeem has already been doing one-on-ones with the registrants. And so when we talk about community and why RAIN is so important, and I'm just going to keep it really, really brief tonight, and you could log on, you see what's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, and it's also in the description. A link is in the description. But excuse me. Oh, excuse me. So getting back to community, it is so critical that you are in community with people who know how to organize, with people who know how to strategize, with people who are well-read, who understand history, who understand trajectories, who understand what is going on, versus people who are just going to sit and complain and or just talk about the news. And so the RAIN Society is truly what the right is doing. The RAIN Society for us, I should say, right? The reclaim, the earn, the invest, the grow, and navigate community is, and I don't want to say it's the same thing, but think of the Heritage Foundation, right? And what they have and how they're lockstep together and how they have brilliant people, brilliant minds, no matter what you think of their policies or their ideologies. They have lawyers, doctors, pastors, like they have such a well-rounded group of experts that are guiding them. And find you one of them. Like, I'm not saying RAIN is the only one, but find you some community that is going to have you prepped for what is to come. And so again, Hakeem is still doing one-on-ones this week. Is she in? No, she's not in here. I really believe that, and I'm going to answer somebody's, somebody just made a comment, and I'm going to answer the question in a second. But yeah, so look into the RAIN Society, look into whatever society or membership that will bring you to a place where fear, anxiety, stress is not guiding you, right? And it wouldn't be guiding you because you have people who are coming up with solutions, who are providing insight and game and strategy that you're not going to get just, watching the news or scrolling necessarily through TikTok. So yeah, I want to pull up, somebody just posted something, and not earnings. Okay. So, I'm just going to give one example. In the United States, it says YouTube's total revenue by country isn't publicly broken down, but Statista data from January 2025 shows YouTube apps revenues were approximately 28 million in the US and 17 million in Japan. And those are the two countries that just came up real quick. And that's just app revenue, right? But we're not even talking about the other revenue that's generated. What I mean by YouTube not being beholden to the United States is that just like multiple global companies, they would be able, now it'd be a hit. I'm not saying it wouldn't be a hit, but they could survive as a company if the US says, you know what, YouTube is banned here, right? Just like TikTok survives as a, and I want to say, is YouTube banned in China? Okay, I'm getting off tangent. I'm getting off tangent for a minute, but I'm actually going to post that. I'm going to post that in my community tab to show that people think that Google only makes money in the United States. And that is so far from the truth. And so anyway, again, let's get back to the NGO because I think I'm getting off topic a little, but I saw that comment and I wanted to just address it because it's all about revenue. And especially when these companies start to hold hands and figure things out, yeah, we in trouble. Okay, so getting back to what this could possibly mean, this anti-boycotting act can mean for us. Minority communities may be caught in political crossfire, especially if support for or opposition to the bill is used as a litmus test in broader political battles over anti-Semitism, Israel, or free speech. So what that is saying is let's take out minority communities. We may be caught in the political crossfires if support for or oppression to the bill is used as a litmus test in broader battles, right? So this is a litmus test. Not saying if. We know they're going to dip their toe in, figure out, okay, if this works, how can we expand this? So the boycotting, yes, that's one area, but then like I've mentioned yesterday, you may say somebody's head is too big, and that may turn into some other criminal offense that you have to now either do time for or pay a substantial fee for or give up your passport rights. They will also be quick to label us as supporting terrorism and or I don't like saying these words back to back because I don't want this video to get flagged. But let's just say terrorism, right? We will be quick to be looked at as anti-American. We see what has been happening on college campuses, and they're not even letting certain students back. Now, of course, these are not citizens who were born here, but these were students who held visas to come and go to school that they were not let back into the country because of their political views. We also see people like DJ Khaled not being able to say a word because he knows if he does, there goes his money. There goes his probably whole life here as he knows it in the United States. Imagine not being able to speak up on behalf of your people. I can't imagine it. I cannot imagine being that much of a puppet or that scared to sit up there and just let things happen like they're happening and not being able to say, oh no, this is not going to happen. We're going to boycott this. I'm not supporting that. But, you know, like they say with us, all skin folk and kinfolk, right? Let me finish. Okay, there's so much here I want to talk about, but I have to do some things. So yeah, let's talk about so they did drop interest rates by a quarter percent point. Quarter of a point percentage. 25%, child. 25% of a point. There we go. Today was a day, y'all. Today was a day. I watched a Starbucks delivery truck back into my car that was parked. And then had to wait an hour and a half for the cops to come. Oh, child, it was a lot. Okay. So we talked about surveillance risk. Did we talk about the visa or immigration consequences for non-citizens who organize? So if you are not a citizen, of which I know many non-citizens or non-birthright citizens living in New York, they're going to snatch your stuff up. So I don't care what country you're from. Let me say that again. I don't care what brown country you're from. Please, before you do any organizing, any promoting, have your ducks in a row, have a lawyer on deck, have money ready to be got. Like just know that something may be coming down the pike. And the other thing I want to talk about, as we talked about students, have these conversations. If you know kids in college, if you know kids that are away from home, and when I say kids, I'm talking about those that have no clue what could potentially happen to them during these times, because this is a new normal for us. I know I'm having these conversations. Listen, I'm not saying don't take a stance, but if you're going to take a stance, here's what you need to know can happen. Here's what you need to know you may be at risk for. And then if you decide to make that decision, make sure you have this number memorized, make sure you know what to say. And that's why I did that emergency. Another reason why that emergency document kit, know your rights, know what you need to say if you get picked up for any reason. So please have these conversations, especially with the young people, because they just don't know. They just don't know. And this is not fear mongering. We see what's happening. Let's talk about the girl. Now, I'm not saying everything she did was right, because I did see a video, but the girl who got kicked out of college, who got arrested for, getting real buck with another guy who was, being sympathetic for Charlie's passing, or, what happened to him, the unaliving of Charlie. She got real buck. And instead of giving her a second chance, oh, no, she's kicked out of school, period, exclamation point. A year from now, she wouldn't have been kicked out of school. She wouldn't have been kicked out of school for being more aggressive than the antagonizer who was antagonizing her. So these are the conversations that we need to have, because things are changing rapidly. And let me just get to the comments, because I really don't think people, even non-celebs, everyday folks with limited means, are leaving. Oh, yeah. Listen, and let me just tell you this. There's more of them leaving. And when I say them, I mean white people. There's more of them leaving than us. And when I say in droves, I have been, for those of you that don't know, I created and founded the Black Travel and Culture community back in 2017, over 300,000 followers across multiple platforms, have been in the travel space consulting for a very long time. I have never seen the mass exodus that is taking place right now with Black people. What did they say? So it's more than half of America that is not feeling what is going on. And that is another reason they want to try to put a kibosh on people getting passports and leaving, because think about it. He could talk, they can talk about, half of this country voted for him, but the other half did not. And the other half did not want what is happening. And then the ones that did vote for him voted for him, not all of them, some of them voted for him for the extreme reasons, but for the most part, many voted because they wanted price of eggs to go down. They wanted the stimulus check. They thought they had more money, right? Those people are like, what the hell? What the hell? And so now they're trying to figure out their next move too. And so they're going to have to put a stop, because other countries are like, come America, with your American dollar, which is still viable right now. Come. And so yeah, so you're right, not people are out of here. You can see what's happening because you lived in prison, places like Attica. Oh, for 27 years in prison is a microcosm of an you can have real prison talk with Tommy. That's exactly what, if you look at authoritarian countries, you're exactly right. And if you yeah, I don't, because if you're new here, if this is your first live, y'all can get me off track real quick, and then it'll be 3 hours later or 2 hours later, and I'll still be chatting. You notice that a lot of famous people are quietly leaving. Yeah, quietly, and also some are like boisterous, right, about it. Yeah, Google is big in Mexico. Let me see. They should have multiple. I was trying to look it up. Multiple offices. I know Mexico City, they have to have. Yep. Google's main office in Mexico is headquartered in Mexico City. I was trying to see if there was any more, but I don't want to waste any time. But yes, Mexico City is the city. Mexico City is the city where Google's main office in Mexico is located. So, but again, I really want us to hold on. I didn't finish with my notes. I was just checking comments and the time, because like I said, y'all know I could go. But the point of tonight's conversation really was to make people aware of this bill that they are looking to pass. And before we jump off, I'm going to see where they stand with this bill. But a lot of us don't even know that the IGO Anti-Boycott Act bill, the IGO Anti-Boycott Act exists, or what it means, or what they're trying to turn it into. And the fact that so many of us don't know that we may be online supporting, I'm boycotting this, I'm boycotting that. Did you go here? And then next thing you know, your boss calls you into his office and is like, the police would like to speak to you. And I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. I'm laughing because just how crazy that sounds. Like, yeah, but this is what we're talking about. And I'm like, I want this community to be empowered. It's all about making sure we know as much as we can so we can stay prepared as we can for whatever it is that they have planned. And we've been on this journey since November of last year, breaking down, dissecting. And as we get into the RAIN Society, we're going to get deeper and we're going to have even more strategy. And for those of you that know, the first 5 weeks is all about Hakeem breaking down the primary thing, and I don't care what anyone says, as long as you're in this country, you are in a capitalistic society, you're in a capitalistic country, you could say you don't want to partake and you don't want to participate all you want, but the only way, and the reason why people like Martin Luther King was going down the economics of our community, because it's the only way we have a chance of survival. It's the only way. And everyone's not going to survive, right? And when I say survive, I'm not talking unaliving, but I'm just talking about some of y'all, may end up in the fields again. And I don't mean y'all who's listening. I mean y'all, people who's not paying attention. And so everyone's not going to survive, but we are going to stack the odds in our favor to make sure whatever resources we need, we help to provide. That's what the society is about. That's how come we're also going to, I already said we're going to do a bonus class for people who want residency in Mexico, like I have, right? And the tips, the tricks, the strategy to stack the odds in your favor to get approved, right? We're going to bring on other people who have residency in other countries, or who have moved to other countries, or who are bopping around in other countries, so to get their point of view, because you don't realize that it's possible until it's done. So many people I have met since November started out like, oh my gosh, I don't even have my passport. I don't have enough money. Child, some of them have already moved abroad. And we're talking since November. And so you just don't realize what's possible until it's done. And this community is all about not only telling you about the possibilities, but showing you how to get there, right? Through people who have done it, people who are trained in certain areas. And so again, I'm going to keep harping on get yourself in community. Anyway, so let's go over the last area that we may be affected. And it's not really the last area, but the last area that we can relate to, that we'll go over tonight, that is real relatable, right? So the right to boycott really has deep roots in our history, in Black American history, from the Montgomery bus boycott to consumer boycotts against apartheid in South Africa. Imagine not being able to do that ever again. Imagine not being able to stop spending your money against an entity that someone else deems is viable for them and beneficial to them, but is causing you and your people harm. It's a precedent, right? This is a precedent that they're trying to set so that they limit boycott or boycotting as a tool to maintain our civil rights or demand civil rights. They're playing chess, not checkers, and that's exactly what we need to do. So yeah, they definitely want to open the door for future laws restricting other forms of economic protests, which can also affect labor unions, environmental justice campaigns, indigenous land defense efforts, and or let's just say there's more civil unrest, or think George Floyd. Oh yeah, there'll be no more out in the streets boycotting anybody or anything. And so, as we know, these boycotts in the past that are part of our history, that our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, our great-great-grandparents were part of, help to change a lot of laws. They are trying to make it so that we are stuck for generations with whatever they tell us we have to do. And so there's more areas that we need to pay attention to, especially as Black and Brown people, and as it relates to this IGO Anti-Boycott Act. And I'm going to look to see exactly where it is right now. I'm going to try to do it quick. Oh, did I give you the name, the new version of the bill's name? So it's the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act, as of September 25. So September 2025, excuse me. So we're going to see where they are with that. But I was trying to also figure something else out, but let me just see what happened with the vote on. Let's see. Hopefully I'll get the right information because I'm not logged in right now. Okay. So it says a standalone has been introduced, but it never came to a vote on its own. So it looks like it hasn't been voted on. I just read the first line. The only path forward was via amendment in the NDAA. Rather, this amendment will succeed depending on whether it's ruled in order. So it looks like it's still in play, but there are strong oppositions as Democrats and progressive groups have labeled this a culture war. Oh, child, they're even talking about, there's so much going on with this. So it looks like it's still in play. I didn't miss anything, but I want us, again, to stay ready so we don't have to be ready. Journalists, scientists, educators, Black Americans will be the new refugees. The EU is already taking American scientists and doctors. Okay. I'm trying to understand. Oh, because, okay, I see what you're saying. Did y'all see the woman on, the nurse who was indefinitely suspended because she reported a doctor who was supposedly basking in the news of the unaliving of Charlie? And now she's on Fox News. She's trying to get a job, y'all. She's trying to get a job. Hey, Pearl girl, too. Oh, yay. Am I moving abroad? So as of now, I spend part of my time in Mexico and I spend part of my time in the United States. The goal is to spend most of my time in Mexico, bopping around the world, but Mexico as one of my home bases. And, if you're new here, you probably don't know. New York in the summertime is one of my favorite places in the world. Unfortunately, I couldn't spend my summer there this year. But if things don't change, my goal is to spend summers as New York with my home base. Let me see what y'all are saying. But again, let me just close out by saying this. Let me just say, I understand that for everything that's happening and at the speed that it's happening, it is so hard to keep up with everything that is going on in this country. I can't keep up with everything that's going on in this country. But when I see things that I know for certain are going to have a huge impact on our success as a community, our success as a culture, I'm going to call them out, right? And not only am I going to call them out, I am going to bring minds together, brilliant minds together who can help us strategize, right? Did it with the Maximize Assets Grow Abundance community. I did it with the Decode Your Talent and Design Your 5+ figure income boot camp and coaching. Started last year with the 28-day accountability challenge for people who wanted to stay focused on whatever their goals were. And in each and every course, what I will say, so let's separate Rain Society, because Rain Society is not a course, it's a society. It's a membership community where we learn, we grow together, we stay in community, we strategize, we plan, we do all the things. But the courses that, or the coaching, what I know is not everybody's going to finish it. Not everybody's going to get where they need to be. But the reason why I keep going is because there's always the shining stars in these courses where I know, my host or my coaching hosts know that what we are doing is changing lives. And so we're going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to come on this channel and try to drop gems when I can. And I'm also going to bring other people on this channel who can not only just drop gems, but I would trust them if you decide to go talk to them on your own. Because I don't trust everybody, child. I know there's some fugazi people out on these interwebs. And so I want to make sure that this community, the Gem Nation community, if you have not subscribed, go ahead, subscribe, become part of the Gem Nation family. We also have private meetups, the Flawless Community relaunches, or for Q4, I should say, our Q4 family launches next Thursday, the 25th. Our OGs and our REIN members, those who registered as founding members or who signed up before tomorrow, we meet tomorrow, and we're going to not only catch up from all of our summer, tryst and happenings. And so many of us have so many things to share. We're also going to have our infamous game night where we give out, cash prizes, y'all. Not cash, but gift cards. I can't really mail cash, but we give out gift cards. Usually you get to select where you want the gift card from. It has to be an approved. So recently it's been a lot of Costco's gift cards, but that is tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everyone who's been registered has gotten the link, and whoever signs up before tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will get, for the REIN Society, will get the link. But there will also be a link that goes out for the Flawless Community that relaunches again next Thursday. But stay in community is what I'm saying. Now, the Flawless Community is less about education and more about community building. It's more about, you see something, you say something, you want to lead one of the sessions, you lead one of the sessions. It's all about us really being in community with each other and dealing with hot topics and dealing with emotions and dealing with things that are bringing us joy and things that are bringing us pain. So feel free to be on the lookout for that as well. The UK is 4 years behind the US, hence you've been watching Kim since last year to prep yourself. So I heard, but yeah, the UK is out here kissing that man's behind, child. And that's the other thing. So will I be able to say things like that in the future? Who knows? Who knows what that will mean, right? But yeah, the UK is out there. They said this is a second time. But then again, who knows? That man may be going through some health issues, and they're like, okay, let's, send them off right. Who knows? Now, let me just go through the rest of the chat, and then we will get out of here. And I will see everyone on Friday, probably for a drive and dialogue or a walk-in chat. Excuse me, a walk-in talk. Remember when they did no-fly list during 9/11 Patriot Act and surveillance on wiretapping phones? It's way more now. They've been building since then. Yep. You're absolutely right. Hey, Sharfar Maid. It's been a minute. Good to see you again. Even if we look back 200, 300 years, you won't find a single dictator that got voted out. The future here looks bleak, to say the least. Yeah. The only thing, so let's just say this. It won't be the same dictator, because that man, child, he don't have to get voted out. The man who's in right now, he ain't gonna have to get voted out. No votes will be required to get him out. And I'll just leave it at that. We never thought we'd see this day. No, I need to get your head out of politics and focus on increasing income so you can get out, Panama, Jamaica. And, oh, child, it's easy. I hate to use the word easy. I'm not going to say easy, because easy requires very little effort or no effort, right? It's not difficult. And I hate to put it like that, but it's not difficult. I know this to be true. It's not difficult. Where we tend to fall short is commitment and execution. Those are the two areas where we as a people, and I know you said you're not Black, but people, period, fall short. I have met with so many, and I'm going to say high net worth individuals. You may not know what I used to, but I used to be in sales at a media company. I have met with so many high net worth individuals, and I would say 60 to 70% of them have all shared with me that most people do not get to the levels they want to is because their follow through sucks big time. They have no follow through. Some of these individuals be like, oh, they would be interested in hiring a certain person or mentoring a certain person. Send me 5 reasons why blah, 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 blah. Those reasons would never come. The email would never come. There would be no follow through. And that's just an easy example. Now, if you're talking about investments, people wanting to invest in you or people wanting to start businesses or launch their own businesses, we fail because our follow through sucks. And it's just that simple. And so one of the reasons I do things like the 28-day accountability challenge is to make sure people stay on follow through and have accountability while they do it. One of the reasons why we do fast-paced boot camps and coaching is because it doesn't take a 6 months business plan to get a business off the ground if it's not a brick and mortar, if it's not a 7 or 8 figure deal. But we like to, let me ask Chat GPT, let me research this, let me dot my I's and cross my T's. No. You fail forward, right? You put it out there, you just build that way. And so I want us to really do better, and I say that just simply because I had to be trained that way. But you know who I was trained by? White men, white salesmen that taught me to get out of my head, leave self-doubt at the door. What's the worst a person can tell you is no. And is it going to kill you? Hell no. They tell you no, you move on. Like, I've been trained by people who don't look at obstacles and barriers and say, oh, I'm done. That's going to stop. They look at obstacles and barriers like, okay, how I get how I get around this? Okay, can I jump? Can I kick it? Do I have to put things and climb over it? Like, we need to be more solutions focused, and we also need to be more accountable when it comes to execution. And so, yeah. And so you're right. Freeing up time is one way to do that. And so let me prioritize second passports. Yeah. So again, I don't know if you weren't here yesterday, I don't think. And I've said this, ever since I started talking about the passport conversation. Unfortunately, in our community, a lot of us can't even get our passports, right? The system was designed so that a lot of us, we have criminal records. A lot of us owe child support and other reasons that we went over yesterday that prevent us from getting a first passport. So I give grace, right? So my prioritizing is, yes, if you have a passport and if you can get a passport, do that first, right? Your United States passport. If you have the means, if you have the desire, because not everybody has the desire to leave, right? And I can't, listen, people don't understand how I could live in Mexico, just like I can't understand how people could just stay here, right? So we're never always going to have a meetings of the mind with everyone, right? So I like to say, if you can't get a passport, get your passport. If your passport is up for renewal, renew that ish now. If you are in a city, a town, or a state that you are fearful of, if you are seeing things that is causing you and or your family fear, you have children, you don't want to send them to school because of what happened, what's the plan B there? So it may not always be about leaving the country immediately or at all, depending on your situation, but making sure that you're not stuck, making sure you're not a sitting duck, making sure you are stacking the odds in your favor, that you're safe, right? That you feel safe, not that you think you're safe, but that you actually feel safe, right? I feel good, right? I feel like I could go to the store and nobody's going to snatch me up or snatch up my child, right? That's how I like to prioritize. But if you have the luxury, right, of having a first passport and the finances to help you get a second passport, please, please, please do that. And if you don't have the finances, what are you doing to work towards getting those finances? Netflix is supposed to do something similar to YouTube. Like, oh, you mean having the live people? Hey, Cynthia, good to see you. Hope you can join tomorrow evening, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Alternative citizenship options. Got it. Yeah. Google's office. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that. I just want to make sure I get everybody's comments. This is where we banter. So for those of you who are not into bantering and question and answering, young Black men beware of dating apps, a method of phishing leading to harm. Women too. Yes, but you're right. Women too. I've heard stories about women too. And job interviews. How about that? These texts to job, text, LinkedIn, they ain't playing. They are not playing. Oh yeah, that's what that child we done talked about. The journalist who literally quoted, she worked for the Washington Post, I want to say. And she was, I think, the highest ranking opinions writer. Yeah, she's gone. You hate that they voted for Orange Joe and they're leaving us here. The price of eggs going up was during Biden, and it was not because of Biden. Our chickens here have been dying due to a disease. Egg has been purchased from countries like Turkey. Okay, we ain't talking about. I think you may have dug too deep into what I said about people voting because of eggs. Yeah, but you're right. Listen. He promised, the man in office right now promised that the price of eggs were going down, and haven't seen that happen. Yep, you need to stop arguing with people. Everything ain't for everybody. You're not going to convince some of these hard people. Stop wasting your good energy. Pick your battles. Like we're doing too much. Please, the trolls that come on here, like I'll comment to maybe 2 or 3 of them for engagement purposes, but not for any other reason that, you're not going to change their minds, especially if they are really, really hard, staunch Christian nationalists. Oh, someone asked me in the messages, and I just saw it. There's 2 movies that I highly recommend. One is, well, not 2 movies. House of Cards on Netflix is not a movie, it's a series. Kevin Spacey was in it. You want to understand the dirty, ruthless game of politics? Watch that. Watch it. Also, The Order is a movie that is on, I want to say, is it Amazon Prime or Hulu? I'm going to tell you in a second. But it's based on a true story, and it talks about how they've been, MAGA has been building since the 70s, y'all. And they played the slow game. They played the we're gonna wait this out because we are gonna win. And okay, so you know who's in it? Journey Smollett. And it is currently on Prime Video. so you can watch it. These homegrowns have been brewing for a while. They are full-fledged oak trees now. They are massive trees. They have harvested. And so we just need to stay ready so we can get ready. So the order is on Amazon Prime, and House of Cards is on Netflix. But it's, I forgot, maybe like 6 or 7 series. You're fearful in Florida. Yeah, child. Oh, yeah, I would be too. Yeah, safety for your family first. Oh, that's good. So that means you have your passport already. Yes, Siobhan. So the MAGA has morphed into maximize. So let me say this for people who are new here. MAGA stands for Maximize Assets and Grow Abundance. It's a financial wealth course, I would say. And we hosted it in the winter of 2025. So the top of this year. I think we started in February. We have morphed that into the Rain Society. You are able to buy and watch the replays from the Maximize Assets Grow Abundance community from the top of the year. Also, Hakeem, Andrea, we had a tax strategist. We also had a estate planning strategist who also taught during those sessions. So yes, those are still available for purchase replays. Boot camp also available for purchase replays. We probably won't do another boot camp until the end of October, maybe beginning of November, but stay connected to that. And 28-day challenge, I'm not sure. 28 days challenge, I usually do it so that people can start. So I might connect the 28-day challenge with the boot camp this time, because it's all about trying to really maximize for most people during the lead up to the holidays. So Black Friday through the holidays is where real opportunity to make money lies for most people. Let's just say that. You're a fitness coach and need to grow, but you suck with technology. Your wife really wants to find remote work. She's good with computers. Oh, okay. Good with computers, like fixing them. I don't know what that means. Hey, Crystal, good to see you. Heritage Foundation ensured a structure that doesn't the Orange Puppet King. Miller and Vance are younger and smarter, and Miller is clearly more evil. Yep. And Vance. The successor. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even understand. Well, no, I understand. Follow the money. 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 That's where the answers lie. So yeah, I think I caught everyone. But yeah, no, so like I said, tomorrow is the Flawless in December meetup, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be out by 10:30, the latest. We're going to catch up the first 45 minutes, and we're going to play games the last 45 minutes. And so I look forward to seeing all my Flawless family members. It's been a minute. I think we met maybe like 6 weeks ago or so. But I'm looking forward to seeing everyone again. And then Saturday, we start the Rain Society. I will be welcoming everyone. Hakeem will then take over. And let me just look to see what his first session is going to be about. I'm telling you, anyone that has the opportunity to be trained by not just a wealth manager, right? Not just someone who has like a certified financial planner. You have a certified treasury professional who's on his way to get his doctorate in economics, who has had his own wealth management firm for over 30 years, one of the first Black men to have a wealth management company on Wall Street. No longer in New York, but that's okay because he's still doing the thing. He's still doing the thing. If you are able to be guided, and I've already heard from some people who've had the one-on-ones and they were just like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And so if you're able to have that type of access, take advantage of it. If you would have taken advantage at the top of the year with Maximize Assets, Grow Abundance, your investments would be looking very, very, very like 3 to 4 times, 2, 3, 4 times, depending on what your investments levels were or what your risk tolerance was. Again, all of this is strategic. The timing where we release things is strategic. Things are going to happen. Get yourself in community. I do want to share what Hakeem's next, well, his first session is going to be about. And then we will, say goodnight. If y'all have any questions, y'all know, I try to check the comments at least every couple of days. I will try to get to yesterday went bananas. Y'all want to see what yesterday did, child? Let's see what numbers we're at because I didn't even check today. Let's see. Let's just see what yesterday's numbers for that video. We did, and I say we because 25,000 views in 23 hours. Let me just show y'all because y'all may not believe me. Y'all may not believe me, y'all. Let me just show y'all. Here we go. 25,000 views in 23 hours. The video before that, 4 days ago, well, that was my drive-in. That was a random. But the U.S. plans to revoke passports, 9 things you need to know. New bills could strip your passport. Here's what they're not telling you. And then you're going to get people in the comments saying, oh, well, they didn't vote for it. So, it's not going to happen. I'm like, boy, they got y'all just where they want y'all. Child, y'all better read The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. Y'all better read these books. I'm telling you. And there's this quote by Harry S. Truman. I love this quote because it's so true. I could always tell who reads and who doesn't. Let's just say that. All readers may not be leaders, but all leaders are definitely readers. Now, I done added some sauce to that. He ain't say it quite like that. It was something like all readers are leaders. No, all readers are not leaders, but all leaders are readers or something like that. It's so true. It's so true because people know, not people, they know that we just don't know. And that was the 3rd book. So 3 books. So I told y'all about 2 movies. For those of you who are new here, please, 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 The Miseducation of the Negro, The Art of War, and The 48 Laws of Power. You combine those 3 books, yeah, you will be as unstoppable as they come. You will give 0 Fs when the trolls start to come after you. You will continue to hyper focus, which we talked about at the beginning of this movement in November, learning how to hyper focus. Many of y'all could tell I'm trained in this. I know it works. I'm not perfect in nothing that I do, but when I set a goal, 99.9% of the time, I achieve that goal because I know how to hyper focus. That's why we do things like the 28-day challenge, because it's easy to get distracted if you don't commit. And the Mr. Prison guy, I'm sorry, I can't see your name right now. As a trainer, you can't just lackadaisical come work out when you want to work out and think it's going to make a difference. If you're not hyper focused in the beginning so that it starts to become habitual, you start to form habits, you are wasting your time. And time is the one commodity we can't get back. And so I literally, absolutely want us to be more hyper-focused and vigilant and in community together. That's one of the reasons why I love Dr. Carr so much. You talking about hyper-focused, you talking about committed to his people, showing up from Egypt to teach the Nubia classes. It's 4:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning, his time. He's still showing up at 8:00 on Monday evenings to make sure we're getting fed the information we need because we're in such critical times. But he was even doing this before the times were this critical, right? And so the proof is in the pudding. The Mamba mentality, if y'all look at my old videos, when I go back home, I keep that Mamba mentality in my office. I see it every single day. That book, listen, I don't care who you think is the best basketball player in the world. Kobe Bryant was hyper focused on his goals, and that's why he was so great from such a young age. It's really not rocket science. It's really not. And so you look at the greats when it comes to sports, they are hyper focused, they are dedicated. Execution is not a problem. Another one of my favorite quotes, Muhammad Ali, don't start counting the sit-ups until they start to hurt. Now, I may not have said it exactly like he said it either, but why are you counting them? If there's no pain, don't start counting the sit-ups, the push-ups, the pull-ups, whatever, the reps, don't start counting them until you start to feel something. These are the types, read the 48 Laws of Power, follow some of the quotes by people like Martin Luther King, from Muhammad Ali, Oprah Winfrey, all of the people that have hyper focus to get their goals on track. That's the type of community that the RAIN Society, from my vision, is going to be just a whole bunch of beautiful Black people who are hyper focused to making sure that we are good together, right? If you want to go far, go alone. Excuse me, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, we got to go together. So anyway, that's my TED Talk for tonight. And on that note, 48 Laws of Power. Siobhan, I'm saying I read 2 of the 3. Good. What should matter? Yes. These books have been life-changing, along with the 4 agreements. Like, I cannot not call out the 4 agreements because that's another book that will get you all the way right. And of course, The Alchemist. Like, there's so anyway, I'm going to put together just a quick list of like the top 8 or 10 books that, even if you do, audio books, whatever, try to get them out the way, like, because we're going to need that type of mindset. So let me put a note to myself. I will put together a, free list that you could download, click on, and go ahead and get those books in your life. I actually read the 4 agreements every year in January. I haven't read The Art of War, maybe 2 years now, but I will reference certain strategies from that book. Like, I have favorite strategies that I reference often. Yeah, The Alchemist is great. So I will definitely put that book together. And let me just You're missing one of those books. You have 2 down. Okay. Facts. Everyone head in the sand. Yep. Yeah. I mean, just literally. And listen, if I go to, let me see what is targeting me today. I like to see what videos they got targeting me. So, child, it's just like Facebook. I don't have Facebook on my phone, but sometimes I have to go on Facebook for business reasons, and I'll go to my personal page. I'm like, who the hell are these people? Why are you asking me to follow these people? I don't have anything in common with this page. Why am I being targeted? But I just want to show y'all what's targeting me now. So, okay. So I do follow Austin Holman because he's in Nairobi, Kenya, and he does this partnership with this this guy, Troy White, who went to Howard, and he's like Mr. Howard, and I know him, and he's a brilliant marketing mind. So I follow him. Unwind with Tasha K. So I don't even know if I should say this out loud, but she also spends time in Mexico. I'll say that. And so in the same areas that I do. And so from a business, now she's had her, situation with Cardi B and all of that, but from a business mind, brilliant business mind. I don't know who this girl is, but something about DoDash. I don't know. Okay, I do follow Secular Talk with Kyle. I don't know who Being Beautifully Honest is. I do follow I've Had It. Okay, so today they're not too bad. They know I love me some Luther. Okay, Own is on here. Okay, I don't know who Timothy McBee TV is. The Breakfast Club, I used to follow, but they had that man on the other day. What is his name? Nick Fuentes. Oh, child. I do follow Midas Touch. I do follow Lori Daniel Flavors. I do follow Michelle ATLian Brown since when I worked, at Essence. She was, I've known her for a minute. I don't follow 9mag TV. I don't know who Let's Turn Up World is, but she has 104,000 views and 140,000 views. Who is she? Oh, let me see who she is.
It's almost 1 a.m.
There's 189,000 subscribers.
It says severe weather alert.
Help us reach too. I don't know what she does.
What?
Oh, they're internet cousins. I don't know who she is or what she does, but Don Lemon, okay, he gets on my nerves sometimes, but I keep him on deck. I don't know who Sabby Sabs is. I don't know who half these people are. Kevin, who's this? Oh, I do follow him. I think he's a right-wing Black person, and you always got to figure out what the ops are doing, right? Infiltration, right? You got to infiltrate. I don't know who Chrissy is. I don't give a dag about who Young Thug, what's his name, right? Glorilla, don't give a damn. But they're going to target me for these people. And so I do follow Amanpour, and company. But yeah, I just always like to see who I'm being. Oh, there's my guy, Adam Mokler. Hey, Adam, breaking Trump bans Jimmy Kimmel from TV for this. Ciao. So yeah, so that's pretty much who targets me. And that's enough of me rambling. It is 9:42, y'all. I'm sorry. What affordable places in Mexico? Oh, okay. That's a huge question. That is not a question that one person can ask, not knowing anything about you. I don't know what's affordable to you may, be expensive to me and vice versa. So I don't know what that means. But I do consultations. Feel free to look in the comment section below and you can schedule one. Sabby is a political. Oh, is that who that is? Thank you so much. But so maybe they're targeting me because I follow other political commentators. Okay. Yeah, we're not talking about them peoples. The Art of War is happening. Thank you. Read y'all the Art of War. And I gave y'all this book list back in November, early December. I even included the Art of War for Women. Let me see if I can find it real quick and I'll put it, you know what? Yeah, let me do that real quick and then I have to run because I have to catch a store real quick. But let me see if I could find it. Why can't I get to my... Okay. Yeah, it is not letting me open. So what I will do... Oh, I'm running too many. Got my activity monitor up. That's what's going on. So what I will do, I will put it in the chat. Not the chat. The I'll pin it as the first comment. So give me a little bit to do that. But on that note, listen, pay attention to these bills, these acts that are trying to go under the radar. Set your Google alerts for whatever keywords you need to use so that you can at least stay abreast when something that you think may be relevant. So if it's something about passport laws, put that in, or passport changes or something like that. Set your Google alert so that you're notified whenever these stories pop. And child, I done lost my other. There we go. So yeah. So anyway, thanks everyone. I will see y'all tomorrow. I only said it because okay. Oh, no problem. But we just not even giving them no light regarding the stuff they're trying to distract us with. Yeah, they are. For those who are into audiobooks, audiobooks put me to sleep. I have to read. Okay. And on that note, I'll see everyone. Well, I'll see the Flawless family tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Talk to y'all later. Bye.